Hey, what's up everybody? It's Carpo here, and I wanted to talk for a minute about quietude. It slipped my mind the last video I made, so I guess it deserves a video all its own. Um, the quietude of the mind, being able to quiet your mind and to listen to your heart, listen to your intuition. I may not be a religious person, and I may not be an atheist, I may not be any labels, as I said, but I do have some inner thoughts about the way that the universe works. And those thoughts are based on my observation of the world around me. Not by what other people tell me, and not by what I've read, but by what I've experienced. Regardless of whether there's a God or not, regardless of where we're going or where we came from, there are laws to the universe, natural laws, which, when broken, we suffer. It's a very simple thing. People can deny it all they want. People will say there's no natural law, things are just as they are. In my personal experience, no, that there are laws. One of these laws is that when the average person does something wrong, they know it in their heart, and they suffer because of it. If I say something to someone that's hurtful, maybe out of spite, maybe out of revenge, maybe because they picked at me and I'm picking back at them, I feel wrong about that, and I know I've done wrong. It doesn't matter if I'm defending myself, it doesn't matter for what purpose I did it. In my heart, I know it's wrong. And I don't know if that extends to every person, because I know that there are sociopaths out there who don't have the same emotional responses. So I don't know if this is something that is a genetic trait or if it's something that is inspired divinely. It doesn't matter. The point is that we have it. And I think that we argue too much about semantics and details and what ifs instead of just looking at the facts. Here we are. Here we are. We have this world to live in, and we have to deal with it. So what do? Thousands of years we've complained, we've created the bomb, we've had wars to try to defend ourselves against ourselves. But it was always to protect our interests. It was always to say that we deserve more, or that we're more entitled to something than someone else. There's no justification for war, because war is always fought on the premise of either land, money, resources. So even when a person says a war is based on religion, often religion is the excuse to go to war. People use people's religious, their religious beliefs to say, hey, God wants this. And that's just a way to get the people to support. So we're all on our own to think about this. The only way that we're going to know what's true, what natural laws we need to follow, is through quietude. Quietude is the ability to quiet the mind enough to receive the subconscious information that we need. My belief is that when we go into a dream state, this is our body's natural form of quietude. It's the rebirth, but it's also a time for us to go through our subconscious mind without having that conscious mind in the way, and to process our thoughts, and be forced to sit through this movie of the reality of life, and then to wake up and remember the parts that were important. I think one of the most fascinating things about dreams to me is that we do forget them so quickly, and no matter how hard you try, you have to train yourself to remember. Think of this as a miniature version of a past life, if you will, if that's what a past life is, if there is a past life. You wake up from the dream, you might remember parts of it, but generally it's irrelevant. It's a subconscious moving forward. And by sitting in contemplation and quietude, which does not mean sitting for hours on end in meditation. That's an attachment to a particular process. It's not necessary, but I have my forms of meditation. When I'm out there clipping my cannabis, that's meditation for me. When I'm woodworking in the garage and making boxes and benches, that's meditation for me. And I do most of my thinking during that time. But quietude means quieting those thoughts and allowing the universe to just flow through you. And those moments don't always come easy. I'll be honest, they don't come easy for me. I have to really force it if I want to get a real moment of quietude, and so I choose not to force it. And that's kind of my point here. I remember hearing a story about a Zen monk who told his master, I have to meditate, I haven't been meditating. And he said, why do you have to meditate? He said, because I haven't been meditating lately. And he said, well, you're too attached to meditation. Don't meditate. And that one line there that I read, that one little paragraph, was enough to, I understood the deeper meanings behind that. You know, all the Zen teachings have been the most inspiring for me. In fact, Zen philosophy is basically what my life is. Not a Zen religion, Zen philosophy. But I don't associate with Zen. The quietude in my life allowed me to see that there's a reason why our minds aren't quiet. And it's because we're constantly filling it with chaos and clutter and junk food for the mind, junk food for the soul. And I'm an addict. I'm a compulsive kind of guy. I like to do fun things. You know, I have my faults, I guess, if you want to call those faults. But I've learned to incorporate that and embrace it. Not hate myself for what I do. Just say, hey, this is who I am. I need to work on this if it's causing problems. And that's what being quiet and silencing our minds allows us to see. I can't express it. I can only voice it. It's a very personal thing. And I think many of you know what I'm talking about. And for those who don't, just try a moment. Just try a moment to close your eyes, forget about everything, stop thinking altogether. Quiet the mental chatter. You'll learn to train yourself to do it. It'll become just normal. And this is what I've been doing with all my practices. It's just making them second nature, first nature, just natural. And I can look at a situation naturally now and look at the positive side of it. I don't have to force it. And yeah, maybe that to some people is ignoring the problems, but it's not at all. It's saying, hey, we can take this broken house and build a new one with it, right? Anyway, we're all working together here. We're all learning together. And I really appreciate the ability to confer these ideas to people out there. And I really enjoy your responses. And I think we're all learning together, and we will make it through this. Humanity can change. There's days when I say, no, humanity will never change. It's man's nature to fight. And then the next day I say, maybe it is. And that's open-mindedness. That's being aware. Being aware and being receptive to change. The world's only a scary place if we make it that way. And if you view the world as a scary place, then that means you're living in a scary mind. And that's something we can all do better with. Dream, right? Take care, everybody. Have a great day.